Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on the time that you are watching this particular video. We begin by understanding a few terminologies. The intention is for us to be in a position to know what is a system. Remember, we said that we are actually going to keep referring to the Queensland Payroll. So you have spent a number of years building the system. It has gone live. And then what happens? A number of doctors, a number of nurses and staff in over 300 facilities fail to get their salary. And that's not all. There are staff who end up being overpaid, others end up being underpaid, and the worst case is a number of staff fail to get paid. What happens? As a result of this, there is industrial strike across the different facilities, and the consequences are that the ministers in charge resign. Now, this is a real case that happened to the Queensland health system, and the system experienced quite a number of issues. One of it was the completion period, and the other one was the overshooting of a bill, and it ended up costing the taxpayers 1.25 billion. So the question really is, what went wrong? And the reason as to why we have given all these is for us to understand three critical things. What is a system? When we talk of the Queensland payroll system, what do we mean by that? When you talk of the components of a system, what constitutes to be a component of a system, and what is an info? So we intend to define a system and explain its purpose, the 5 components that make up a system, what an information system is, and then we use that particular case study to help connect theory to practice. When we are defining a system, the most important thing for you to always understand is that a system is a set of interrelated, or sometimes say interconnected components. Now, that's one of the keywords that you need to take note, that it's interrelated, it's interconnected. Now, those particular components do something, is that they work together. So one of it is that they're interrelated. Number 2 is that they work together. Number 3 is that they achieve a common goal. So anytime you are defining a system, we always look for those 3 things, that they are interrelated or interconnected, they work together, and achieve a common goal. And of course, they do that through receiving certain inputs, processing those particular inputs, and achieving an output. When you look at the Queensland payroll system, their common goal was to come up with a payroll system. And that payroll system was to help them be able to pay the over 85,000 employees correctly and also on time. However, this never materialized. And the reason is because the components failed to work together. And that's the reason as to why a number of employees ended up being overpaid, other employees ended up being underpaid, other employees failed to even be paid.